Welcome to the Community for Conscious Living. Today is Sunday, September the 17th. To you live from Denver this morning, in Denver for a workshop this week, and it's been absolutely fabulous. Thank you for being here this morning. Hey, welcome. Let's see, we're coming to you through Instant Teleseminar on audio and through Google Hangouts live, broadcasting to our website of joyfullylivingwellness.com/the-community. So for today, just a note, you will want to have a pen and paper ready to write down. We're going to go through some reflections today as we're talking about compassion of the heart. So you might want to take a minute now, just here, to get a pen and paper. And we'll be ready to go. So the Community for Conscious Living is a community dedicated to personal transformation and universal harmony, healing the planet by making inspired changes in ourselves and our daily lives to create a sustainable environment and a peaceful world. Now, today is part one of a three-part series that we're going to be doing on compassion. The topic for today is compassion of the heart. And then next week we'll be talking about compassion of the womb and then compassion of the earth. Now, compassion is said to be the bridge between the worlds. The bridge between the worlds. Now, what are the worlds? We live in, this world that, this physical world, this bed that I'm sitting on, this chair, my computer, the phone, what your phone, and everything that we're, that we come into contact with, that we see with our physical eyes, this 3D material world, everything is based on contrast. World of contrast. There's, there's hard and soft, there's right and wrong, there's good and bad, there's happy and sad, there's secure and insecure, there's safe and there's fearful, right? There's love and there's not love, right? So this world is a world that is based on contrast, based on conditions. World that we have come from and that we return to after we leave the body. World of unconditional love. So let's just take a minute and think about what unconditional love actually means. What does unconditional love mean? You just take a minute and imagine that. And while we're taking a minute with that, I just want to call on the essence of the one, the most compassionate, the ever graceful essence, that present. Let's just take a deep breath and breathe that in, ground ourselves into our physical bodies, ground that essence of love and compassion into our physical bodies. You might want to take a minute, take a deep breath, wiggle your toes, stretch out your feet. If it's comfortable for you, plant your feet on the ground, the closest place to earth for you. Deep breath. Breathe all the way into your belly. Now just let your body just drop into your physical body, into your belly, into your pelvic floor. Let your conscious energy being really just clunk deep of your physical body. Really come to rest in your vehicle, your custom-made vehicle for this earth journey. So now back to the question of what unconditional means. What does unconditional mean? What are the things that make you feel love and joy? I'm just gonna, this is where you might want to write some of these things down on your paper. What are the things that bring you to feel love and joy? What is like, what expands your heart and lifts your spirit and makes you feel lighter and more expansive? That feeling in this world. And take a minute to write down a few of those, what those. And now let's take a minute and think about, what are the things that make you feel sad or anxious or angry or hurt? You know, and we don't want to dwell too much on the hurt and the pain, but you know, it's there. We can't deny that it does. There are things in this world that exist that you know, invoke that reaction from us of sadness or anger or hurt. Things that, you know, that shut the heart down or turn you away from love or make you feel like love is not present in your life. So, you know, what are those things make you feel heavy and constricted? Take a minute and write. Excuse me. Now, let's take a look at what you've written down for the things that invoke that happy, expansive response from you, or the things that invoke that constricted, shut down response in you. What are the conditions bring you closer to the feeling of love or take you from the feeling of love? Just take a minute and write that down too. What are the conditions? And by conditions, I mean, like, you know, if so maybe you wrote down a particular situation, like, you know, if we wanted to look at the global sense of things, war is something that can really constrict our hearts, turn us away from love, that or the feeling of love, you know, cause us to shut down and turn away from it because it's very unpleasant to want to be with, or, you know, to witness. What are the conditions present there? There's people being mean to each other, people hurting each other. There are people who are being hurt. These are conditions that take us away from that love in all things, right? We're told that there's an existence of love that's present in all things regardless of conditions. That's an unconditional love. In this world we live in, sometimes it's really hard to see the unconditional love in the separation, in the duality, in the people who are not respecting each other, respecting the earth, who are, you know, taking all the oil out of the earth and torching the oil fields and fighting over the water and the earth's resources, and this whole, you know, or wanting to take from each other and hurt each other in order to have for ourselves, you know, one for the other, regardless of where you fall in that. And that is a world of separation and a world of pain. These responses from the heart, where the heart feels expansive and close to love, or constricted and farther from love, these are the signals, the signs that we're given in these, right, these earth vessels that we're traveling in. Our spiritual beings are traveling on this earth journey. These are the signs that we're given to tell us we're close to love. Ultimately, we're here to know love. We're here to know love. And, you know, on this journey, we're showing the contrast so that we can know the difference. Ultimately, there's a place inside each that knows unconditional love. And this love that is the quality of the world that we've come from, we will return to. But here's the key, actually, is that we don't have to wait to die to return our hearts to unconditional love. One of the purposes of being here on this earth, like I said earlier, is to know love unconditionally, no matter what's in front of us, no matter what's happening in the world. Know this unconditional that is inside of us, that we are, it's the life force that's breathed into us, that we're actually, our consciousness is actually made from. It's to know that place and to let that shine through us. In a way, not stifle that, but to let it shine through us, regardless of, to let that be unaffected, regardless of what the conditions are. So in order to return, we first off, we need to want to, right? Sometimes we get, it's like, well, how can you tell me to be in a state of unconditional love when there's war going on? You want me to look at war with a sense of unconditional love? How in the heck can that be? That war is wrong. Let my heart emanate unconditional love in the face of war. How can you ask me to do that? Or if somebody's done something hurtful for me, say, you know, if somebody's done something harmful to you and your heart is hurting, sometimes it's really hard to say, you know, hey, I'm just gonna go and be unconditional love and exude unconditional love regardless, because, you know, because what happened, right? And it's kind of like that conversation that you've probably heard around forgiveness, you know, holding these places of pain and grudges inside of ourselves. It really does, it truly hurts us not to be the other person. When we have unconditional love that lives inside of us and we let it shine through no matter what, this is really, it's not, quote unquote, letting the other person off the hook or anything like that. It's letting you have the life that you're meant to have and to live. So let's talk about the compassion, because that's really, if you can bring yourself to just, you know, even if it has to be mentally at first, to that state of saying, okay, I want this love inside of myself, and I want to be able to be inside of myself unconditionally, regardless of what's in front of me, regardless of whether I've been hurt or wronged, or whether there's really horrible things happening in the world, to the people, to the earth, to the, you know, to the waters and the air and all of that stuff that we're faced with here that is really hard to be with. I don't want to join those forces of constriction and anger in this place of carrying love and light in the world. Your being is filled with love and light. So the trick is to say, okay, I'm going to let that love and light that's inside of me be vibrant, and I'm going to let it radiate from me and emanate from me and lift the world, to cast the light on the shadows, and to let the world be a brighter place through my heart, through my being, through my existence. Because really that is the key of what we're here to do. So come into this. Compassion is the place when we can have compassion in our hearts for whatever is in front of us, those times when we can't feel a love for a particular situation or person or whatever's going on. Have compassion This is what takes us from that place of conditional love and separation back to that place of love and unity. When we can find the compassion in our hearts, that compassion will bridge beings, our conscious beings, from that world of duality back to that world of unity. So we're going to do some work with that. I want to read something for really the meditation, and this is from let's see, can you see this? This is the Sufi Book of Life by Neil Douglas Klotz. This is a book on the 99. He calls it the 99 Pathways of the Heart for the Modern Dervish. That's the subtitle of his book. But this is from the 99 Names of God. As you probably have heard, I studied with a Sufi master from Jerusalem for almost 20 years before he passed last November. And he, one of the teachings, one of the foundational teachings is about the attributes of God, including compassion and forgiveness and love and beauty and kindness and justice and equality and freedom and patience and all of these beautiful qualities that actually are said to be the vibrations. You can think of these qualities as vibrations, right? Because everything is energy, everything is vibration. There is that unconditional love, whatever we want to call it, but it is that pre-existent being. Yes, in the previous that pre-existent being from which all of these qualities emanate. And this is the first of a multiplicity, if you will, in this physical world. But these are still not necessarily the tangible things that we see, but we feel them. These are equal beings that give life to our physical form. We know these. They're a part of who we are and what we're made of. In our spirit beings, our spiritual beings in these physical bodies, it's a part of what these are like the minerals of existence, the minerals that make up our spiritual beings, the minerals that make up our earth and nature and the animals, and everything carries these qualities of God. We have them in our hearts. Out in these physical bodies in this material world, these exist within us, are here to help us to return to that state of knowing within our that can bring us back to realize that existence of the divine with. All right, so I'm going to read you just this couple paragraphs here. This is on the quality for compassion. This is a universal compassion, and it is that compassion that exists, that radiates like from the sun, that radiates into our hearts, and it's existent regardless. It just is the universal compassion, that state of compassion for all things that exists and is present for all things. And the name of that in the Arabic language is Ar-Rahman. Rahman. In the alliteration is spelled R-A-H-M-A-N. Rahman. The sun shines on the just and the unjust, according to a saying of Jesus. The Sufi alchemists cultivated an ability to radiate love wholeheartedly, unconditionally, from the deepest part of themselves. Do not confuse this type of love with what people call codependency. That emotional love that is codependent on others. It is a natural, glowing, sunny disposition. At times we shine because we can't help it, because our light comes from a deeper source. This feeling causes a pregnant woman to glow from within with the warmth of new life. The other pathways of the heart, The Sufi would say that this sun of love, S-U-N, sun of love, is already part of one's own inner being. It lies waiting to be discovered. In the Arabic language, this word for love comes from the word for womb. And this is where we're going to go into the compassion for the womb next week. Creative love and energy shine naturally from the deepest place inside us. We don't need to try. Each time we feel it, it's like giving birth to a new sense of ourselves. So each time we feel it, it's like giving birth to a new sense of ourselves. So we're going to, well, I tell you what, let me read just one more thing about it here. Okay, so one of the practices of Sufism, actually to repeat the name in the sacred language, okay? And when we repeat a word in a sacred language, what that does is it actually invokes the energy of that thing that is named. Like, so we're all in the deepest way, we are all vibration, we are all energy and sound. This is basically, it's a form of sound healing. Within us is vibrating, and we carry all these different frequencies. We carry, you know, of the things that bring us to this unity, as well as the things that make us perceive ourselves as separate, that close down our hearts, that harden our hearts. So bring in this vibration through this sound of the sacred names, you know, the names in the sacred language. So the name for compassion, Rahman. This in the sacred language, we're calling in this frequency, this vibration, passion, that existent compassion that's not dependent on us or our hearts. So one of the things we're going to do in this meditation in just a minute here is we're going to call in this name and really breathe it into our heart centers. Let it heart and strengthen the heart, and let that vibration fill the heart, strengthen the heart, and emanate. So we're going to start with that, and then we're going to actually put it into an application. Let me just read what this is. I'm sorry, this is from another book. It's called Divine Names. The video here. And this is the 99 Healing Names of the One Love by Rosina Fazia Al-Rawi. She's actually a daughter-in-law of my spiritual teacher. She says of this name, let's see, mark the wrong page here. Reading this name induces the feeling that one is enfolded in the gentle clouds of mercy and starts to dissipate the isolation, the feeling of separation, so that often, I said it again, starts to dissipate the isolation, the feeling of separation that so often accompanies us human beings. This divine name dispels the demons of doubt and despair, bringing joy, contentment, hope, and a feeling of connectedness. This name contains all the qualities of love, generosity, mercy, and compassion. It symbolizes the compassion that flows forever and ever to all creatures without distinction, as it contains the divine quality of blessing and joy that touches them all. So if it feels okay for you, we're going to call on this essence of divine compassion. You can call by that sacred name if you so choose, or you can just call directly to the divine from your heart. You know, and let yourself speak, because I think what is most important is that you tap into that knowing and that belief in your heart, that sincerity, that sincere desire to want to live in a higher state, a better state, a more fulfilling, that reduces or eliminates the separation between you and your brothers and sisters and lets you know in your soul that connection and oneness that is the truth of our existence. So you can use the name Ar-Rahman. It's we're calling on this divine essence today. Or you can just call directly from the sincerity in your heart. Either way, call from the sincerity in your heart directly to that divine, whatever that name is for you, whatever you want to call it, whatever it's, whether it's your highest self, great spirit, source, universe, God, Jesus, whatever that is for you. It from the sincerity and the deepest place in your heart that you can access. So take a really deep breath into the center of your heart and touch into that place with your breath, the deepest place that you can find. And from that place, from the most sincere place that you can access, call directly on mine. Directly, like let this heart center is like a funnel that extends from the front of your heart. Let that be like an eye that faces directly into that essence, that it's from that essence. Just know that this is a part of what exists within you. Connect this from this to this place inside of ourselves that knows. This is like a form of remembering the truth of our existence inside. So let that funnel from the front of your heart. This is a portal to access that existence from inside of ourselves. Let that face directly to that divine essence, and let your heart ask directly from that divine essence, from your sincerity, to be filled with this radiant compassion, and to allow it to fill your heart and begin to shine into your heart like the sun, and just fill your heart and then begin to like emanate from your heart. So let's just take a minute with that. Name of the one, the most compassionate, the most gracious of the one. Calling on this essence of divine compassion. Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahman, Ya Rahman, Ar-Rahman. Let this essence come and to just hold you, wrap you, and filling all of the space around you with this vibration, becoming the air that you breathe. And with each breath, breathe this into the depths of your heart. Let your heart be that space that you breathe in and out. Air this vibration of compassion into your heart center. And let it go into that deep place, touch into that deep place of sincerity. It really wants to live in a state of radiant compassion for yourself and for all of existence. So let this come in. Ar-Rahman, Ya Rahman, Rahman, Ar-Rahman, Ya Rahman, Ar-Rahman, Ya Rahman. Really breathe that in. Let it fill your heart, and with each exhale, just let whatever those blocks might be blocking or turning your heart away, closing your heart. Just let those be washed away. Let those be released with your breath in. With your next inhale, just let that compassion come in that space, letting that compassion, that radiant compassion that exists, not the codependent compassion and love, but the radiant compassion that exists. Let it just wash your heart. Release the blocks that keep your heart from being open and in this state of love and compassion at all times. Just let that be released with your exhale, inhaling in this essence of this divine compassion, this radiant compassion that that shines like the sun. Let this fill all of your heart. Begin to radiate this vibration of compassion in your heart center. Just filling you. Filling you. It's not something that you do, it's what you are. All of your heart center with compassion of existence. It is the compassion of the divine essence, the presence that exists within your being. The knowing of compassion inside of yourself as you're breathing this vibration into your heart center. It wakes up a side of you that has been there all along. That is the truth of your existence. That knows its connection with all things. You're a part of this vibration, this ocean of divine compassion. Wake that place up in you. Let it begin to shine from within you as you're inhaling it into your being from yourself as well. Let the two meet there and ignite. It's like come together and ignite that flame of breathing it in and exhaling, and with each exhaling, let anything other than, or anything that may be blocking this passageway, placed, drop deeper and deeper into your heart of compassion, of divine compassion. Ya Rahman, Ar-Rahman. Ya Rahman, Ar-Rahman. Ya Rahman. Ya Rahman. Ar-Rahman. Ya Rahman. Ar-Rahman. Ya Rahman. Ar-Rahman. Ya Rahman. Ar-Rahman. Rahman. Ar-Rahman. And now, take another deep breath with that. Really take it in deep into your heart. And again, let your conscious body anchor into your physical body. Wiggle your toes and stretch your feet. Feel this presence, this essence of compassion move all the way through your being into your pelvic girdle, your pelvic floor. We'll come to seat into your body, through your feet and into the earth. Let's just take another minute with this. You may refer to something on your list that you made earlier, that situation or a relationship or a person that to a state that you down, turns you away from love, that brings you that place where you're not feeling connection with unconditional love. And as this compassion is still radiating through your heart center, right, still this shining like the sun into your heart and from your heart, this energetically hold this situation or person or whatever it is, this relationship, in front of your heart. And let this compassion that is radiating from your heart, let that funnel of your heart face this situation. And now you're continuing to breathe in this essence of compassion that's filling all of the space around you, so letting this continue to flow into your heart. Just notice if your heart, as you hold this thing in front of you, if your heart begins to constrict and turn away from it, That's okay. Notice the signal, notice the sign, the information that your heart is giving you. We hold it. Let's continue to call in that essence of divine compassion. Wash the constriction and the pain from your heart. Move into or remain in that state of radiating this unconditional love, this essence of divine love, regardless of this condition in front of it. And you can ask directly, right for you, and maybe even you just want to take the big leap of faith and ask anyway. But ask this essence of the divine presence to help your heart to feel the true compassion and to know the true compassion for this situation, or this person, or this relationship, whatever it is that's in front of you, that you're holding in front of you. Let that constriction be washed away, and let yourself ask that you be shown, that you be given a knowing of this essence of the truth of compassion, that you know it in your heart, so that you actually can feel the compassion and know the compassion, embodying and radiating that compassion. There's nothing wrong with the feeling of compassion, especially when it's coming from this place. Again, as we repeat this name of compassion or call on this divine compassion, Ya Rahman, Ar-Rahman, let this wash your heart and ask from the sincerity of your heart. Ask for this healing from this healing name, this healing essence. Let it heal the separation from your heart. Let it heal the pain from your heart, judgment from your heart, the anger from your heart, whatever your heart may be carrying there. Be washed and let yourself be shown and know the compassion. Sometimes it's knowing what lies underneath the intentions of another. Everything that each of us do, we all make mistakes. Underneath all of the mistakes that we make is ultimately a place that is just seeking love, just seeking to know that existence of love, that existent state of love that we've come from in this human form, in many states of codependency, as Douglas Klotz talks about in his book. But the truth is that existence of love. It's what we yearn to return to. So let your heart be washed as you continue to breathe in this essence of the divine compassion. Ya Rahman, Ar-Rahman. Rahman, Ar-Rahman. Let yourself feel the compassion as your heart is washed, and as that compassion fills your heart, whatever that is that you are holding in front of your heart. Let your heart come to rest in a state of compassion and acceptance and love. Ya Rahman, Ar-Rahman. In this heart, let it wash your heart, let it wash into this vibration of this situation in front of Ya Rahman, Ar-Rahman. Ya Rahman, Rahman, Ar-Rahman, Rahman, Ar-Rahman. And again, let your heart feel the sincerity of its yearning to return to love, to know compassion, to know the reality of the existence, own hearts in every heart and every being in all of existence, that of unconditional love and compassion. Well, this is how compassion of the heart, how it washes away those barriers and blocks that hold us in separation, the witnessing of the conditions, expand the heart or contract the heart, how it returns us to that world of love, and where there is only one love, that world of unity that just knows love. When we can find compassion for those things that constrict our heart, that close our hearts, this is where we can then be brought back to that knowing of love that exists eternally and is ever present within the depths of our own hearts. It's that sincerity, that compassion that will return us, cross that bridge from the world of duality back into the world of unity, world of love. That world of unity is a world of love. That's all that matters. So let's just end now with a moment of gratitude. Gratitude for that one and only one existence of that pre-existent source from which these qualities of love and compassion, that eternal life force within us that contains the knowing of all of this and more, and so much more. Do mirrors to reflect your light, the clear vessels, to emanate your love, your compassion, your grace, your beauty into this world. Use us to spread your peace in this world. And please add your own prayer, your own intention, your own message in this moment. Yeah. This is not a meditation that you come back from. This is something you carry with you. The more you do it, the more it becomes a part of the natural state of being. The more this becomes your reality, that duality, right? So if you want to do this as much as possible, this recording will be up for the entire week. Return to the webpage, joyfullylivingwellness.com/the-community. This recording will be there, the video, the audio, and an opportunity to download the opportunity will be there in a day next Saturday. Broadcast is on the 25th. I hope you'll plan to join us for that one as well. And if you have not yet joined the Facebook group, there's a Facebook group. If you go to that same page, joyfullylivingwellness.com/the-community, link to the Facebook group, you can join us there for conversation, for share your reflections, share your thoughts, share what's happening for you in this world. Give, inspire others if you've been inspired with what is moving in your own heart and in your own life. Ask any questions, and I'm here to support you through that group. And there's a great community coming together there as well. We can all support each other. So I invite you to join us there. And if you haven't downloaded your free copy of the 10 Foundational Principles of Spiritual Healing, there's a link on that webpage there as well, where you can, you sign up for reminders. So you'll receive broadcasts, the live broadcasts, and other messages we'll be sharing from the community for conscious living. And you can sign up there, download that PDF. It's a reminder. It's a one sheet you can put up around your house to remind you of the 10 foundational principles of spiritual healing. That's the truth of your existence, the truth of who you are, of what you carry in your heart and in your being. So thank you again, Facebook group, and Hope to see you next week.